our weather forecast today?
Today's forecast, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, marine clouds. Just the perfect day to go outside and relax. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, sunny days, sunny days, sunny days. No clouds in the sky, about to get away. Feels like it's been a freaking decade.
Social beaches, take one.
Welcome back to another episode of the Social Beaches. I'm Kellie Bowling.
I'm Carolyn Smith.
And we're with the Coastal Estate team at Compass. We sell real estate on the Space Coast and into the Treasure Coast. So that's basically from Mims, way up north, all the way down to Vero Beach.
Correct.
And so if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, or you have questions about real estate in the market, please give us a call, 321-422-2160, or you can email us at hello@coastalestateteam.com.
You can. We're doing props.
Yeah, these are fun.
We're doing fun stuff. We had fun with the last one, so
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
So we have some beverages today, and I feel like we are both creatures of habit when it comes to what we like when we go, for instance, to Starbucks. I get the same thing every day.
Go to Starbucks a lot. The
here,
little reload button.
Yes. Oh my God, it's dangerous, right, with the app? So I always get a venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew.
You do.
That's what I got. That's what I have in here. So despite the fact that we were getting these, and these are drinks that I feel like I would never order because I might not like it.
Well, this tall one, we should start with this tall one.
Yeah.
Because we both saw it. It was on TikTok. There was there's a girl who does like all these different,
like low calorie
things or whatever. Like, have this, it's amazing and it still tastes good. So this was her take on
So what is this one? This one is it's venti iced coffee.
No classic.
3 pumps of vanilla.
Sugar-free.
Yeah. And then 1 pump of white mocha, a splash of sweet cream, and caramel drizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to try this.
All the caramels just drizzled on down to the bottom.
I know.
There.
How do we stir this up? Are you better at that than me? We're going to let you stir.
Oh, we're not going to do like they do in the car, where they put their mouth over it and just up and down.
No, we're not doing that. We're doing straws, people.
We're going to do a straw. Well, now you got to get the straw to go in that tiny little hole there.
It works. So will it stir?
Yeah, it's stirring. See? Yeah. It's moving around down there.
So their splash of cream is not like your splash of cream at home, by the way.
No, this is much more than, that looks pretty milky.
That's like the cream and then they went,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to try a sample?
I'm going to try it. Yeah, I'll try it. It's very coffee-ish.
Is it?
Yes. I don't taste.
I'm going to have to shove
white
a different
mocha
straw in there.
Yeah. Here, wait. Oh, see, I was thinking ahead.
Thought about a napkin.
I was thinking ahead.
Oh, I'm going to lose.
So I didn't make a mess all over Coastal Luxury Images table. And
that is very coffee-ish, but it's good. It's not as good as that, though. Okay.
It's good. It honestly tastes like coffee with cream. I don't taste white mocha. I don't taste caramel. I don't know that I taste anything.
Iced coffee. That's what it tastes like. I don't taste any of the other flavors.
No.
Maybe some vanilla, but that's probably from the sweet
We should have
cream.
gotten 8 straws. We messed up here.
Well, we can just use
reuse. Okay, I'm going to use the short straw now. Okay, now we're going to try. Okay, so this one, I have to admit, this is, I love this one. I do drink this one.
Yeah.
So this is the iced chai tea latte with pumpkin cream cold foam.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you drink it because actually I've already tried that.
I'm going to try it.
I'm just going to say
I already know.
And cinnamon shake.
Shake on the top. Yeah. I'm probably not going to like it because I do not
You're going to love it.
I don't like pumpkin, though.
It doesn't matter.
No.
No?
It's got too many seasonings in there for me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll just put this one over next to me.
It tastes like pumpkin pie.
And we had to get this one as a venti because that was the recipe.
Yes. And we didn't know how else to break it down.
We couldn't convert. Okay, next one, Kelly.
All right, this is the iced apple crisp macchiato, and it has blonde espresso in it, which is that what a macchiato is? I only got this one because I've never had any macchiato.
I don't know what a macchiato is.
It tastes like apples.
It tastes like apples?
It's interesting.
It's interesting. Does it taste like apple drink, like cider?
No,
cider?
Well, I don't know. I don't drink apple cider, so again, creature of habit over here. Coffee.
Kelly's drinking her same coffee.
Water,
every day.
iced coffee. It's very appley, isn't it?
That would be a no. This one is a definite, no.
Okay.
Nope, I'm not liking that one.
All right, what is that one?
This is the one that, so I got my hair done yesterday, which, sorry, it's so flat. So it's the espresso. It's blonde also with the oat milk and then the
Brown sugar. Iced coffee.
Brown sugar cookie or something. It's supposed to taste like a
brown sugar.
I think cookie. It's supposed to taste like a sugar cookie, like a brown sugar cookie with oat milk, and so
give it a whirl.
Should I give it a whirl? Okay. So she said it's amazing, and she's like, I am addicted to these things, so I want to try and stir it.
Yeah,
so
all the brown sugar went to the bottom, I think.
But she said it's great, and went on, and I said, okay, well we'll try that.
We'll be the judge of that.
Not bad. No. It's not sweet. It's not like that one's too coffee-ish for me.
Yeah.
I could see liking that.
It's not bad. It's very brown sugar.
Yeah, but it's not like super sweet.
No. It also has like a little hint of cinnamon in it. I think that might
Is
be
that
in there.
cinnamon? Or is that from that we stuck it in cinnamon
I mean,
before?
I tried to wipe the straw off, so
that
I
one's
don't know.
not bad.
Interesting. So those
that
are
one I would try again.
We wanted to do the fall drinks, and then of course that viral one that we.
This one is low cal too. Like this one is, I think for that size, like maybe
it was like 100 calories.
100 calories,
small,
yeah. And then like if you get the venti, I think it was only 190. Where like this in the grande size is 460.
Oh my!
How do I know that?
Because you had it.
I've had it more than once. It's
Delicious.
good,
and it's a tea, right?
It's tea. It's chai tea.
What is in chai tea that makes it chai? Is it all the seasoning things
Yeah, it's
that I
like,
taste? The spices?
Yes.
Seasonings.
I
They're
love
spices,
it.
Kelly. They're not garlic salt, not pepper.
It's good. I love chai tea, and I like hot chai tea. So I was like, first of all, I don't want cold chai tea, and second of all, pumpkin foam sounds disgusting. But then I was like, you know what? I have to try it, and now
It's not bad.
Now we have a problem.
It's just very spicy. It's got spices. Yeah.
Okay.
So speaking
All right.
of spices, now
Speaking of spices,
we're going to talk about realtor safety today, and why that's important, and some things that we do to make sure that we are being safe when we're meeting with new clients or prospects, going to listings. I thought I would start off with this story.
Yes, start off with your story.
This is what actually kind of sparked the idea to do this topic. So a few weeks ago, I got a phone call while we were here, actually. It was the last time.
Yeah.
I think it was the last time we were here filming.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2 times ago. So it might have been a month ago. But anyhow, I had a voicemail from a man. He said he had a home in Rockledge and he wanted to get it listed immediately. He needed to get out of the neighborhood he's in. He didn't agree with the, quote, politics of his neighborhood.
Yeah. That happens.
It happens. And I'm like, okay, it was an HOA community. Maybe it was that. I called him back. He answered the phone. You know, I did look him up. He's an owner of the residence. There's a co-owner as well. But he basically gave me the same story. Yeah. I want to list my house. I got to get out of here. And then I said, well, I can come by today at 1:30 if that works for you. And he was like, 1:30? Yeah, I got to meet with my attorney because well, it's a long story. And I was like,
That's when the little alarm bells start going.
Red flag,
Yeah.
like, what's this about?
Yeah.
And, you know, because of my background in working for a state prosecutor in a police department, I'm like, let's get online and just see what we can find. And, you know, he had given me his true name. Of course, I had to see that was the home.
Yes.
And so I looked up, I just did a criminal case search, or as a case search.
I don't know how to do that, so I go to my my personal private investigator, Kellie.
Yes. I enjoy doing that. I fall into these rabbit holes, but so I looked him up and I'm like, oh, our friend has been busy. There were a host of recent charges where this gentleman allegedly, I'll have to use allegedly because I don't think he's been convicted of any of these yet, but allegedly entered his neighbor's backyard and cut off a piece of the sugarcane tree and was captured on camera doing so.
Which is weird. That's not like
a violent offense,
but it's weird.
It didn't scare me away.
Yeah.
We'll just say that one didn't scare me away. I'm like, maybe they have a beef and it's like, haha, I'm going to steal your sugarcane. I don't know. Weird. But
do people grow sugar cane? I guess they do.
I guess. And that neighbor's yard did. So then I'm like, all right, what else we got? And then there was an alleged incident where he was at a big box store of some sort and he was stealing like some sort of plants and landscaping material. And I'm like, he's got a thing for the plants. I don't know what it is.
And God forbid I buy them.
And I'm like, we happen to have an extra money tree at the office. I could just bring this as my hello gift. So then
no need to steal it.
I decided, well, let's look back to a year, 2 years. Like, let's go back in time. And there was some interesting charges where for theft, he likes to, I guess, thieve, allegedly, where this one was the most entertaining. I like to read the police reports to be like, what did he do? Well, he stole some lap dances at Cheaters, of all places. He went in.
How do you do this?
He was serviced with 20 lap dances, and they are $20, I think, a lap dance. So it's $400 in value, and then proceeded to not pay. And so then he asked the bartender,
gracious.
He was like, oh, I can't get the money out of the ATM. It's not working. And then he asked the bartender to help him out.
Do you think they would make you pay for the lap dance in advance?
Front? Like, I feel like
we don't know about that.
That should be a good safety practice. If you are a dancer, can you just not do that? So anyhow, I want to say she sued him in small claims court and she won.
Good for her.
She actually got some extra, I think, for like interest or something. But so anyhow, that was the red flag. And I'm like, so then I'm like, okay, is this other person on the deed with you? Yeah. Are they going to be at your home? You know, when I come over? Well, no, she's out of town. That's my mother. But that's not important. The most important thing now is finding my next place to live. And I'm like, okay, well then why am I coming to your house? If you're not ready to list, like what's the purpose of my visit? And he just got really super insistent. He was being extremely rude. And then he sends me, you're a waste of my time. Can you recommend a real realtor to me? It was very tempting to throw somebody's name card in there, but I did not. And then he proceeded to like threaten me that he was just going to go down to Christopher Burton's model and buy that $3.2 million home.
$3.2 million.
Yes, of which I've since learned. We got a couple weeks ago an alert from our board that there was a man, they did not name names, that was going around and, contacting female agents, trying to get them to come to his home and then engaging in egregious behavior. I don't know what that means exactly because they weren't specific. I ended up blocking him, so he couldn't contact me any further after that. I was like, I'm done. I did not go there. But another agent had, and then he was insistently calling her repeatedly, one time from a local mental health facility. And I was like, oh, there's a story there. Let me look him up. So he's been very busy boy.
And you did, Kellie called the board
I did.
And found out that
it
was the same
guy.
person.
It was the same person.
They
so
just
that's the
story.
aren't allowed to release his name. And I'm not going to put his name out here either.
She called and said, is it this person? They said yes.
Yes.
So your little alarm bells went off.
My gut instinct said something's not right here, and I've never been wrong. I feel like I've never been wrong. So whenever you have that like the hair stand up, you have a story.
I have a story about that, and I think it's important in everything. You don't have to be a realtor. Like when you feel like something's not right, pay attention because. So I was a newer realtor, and I got a call from an engineer, supposedly an engineer. And at that time, I don't think we were as careful about safety back then. Like, I don't think we were as concerned. I don't know why. But he called and he said, I'm interested in this condo. It was an oceanfront condo. And, can you meet me there after work? Sure. So I went and met him. And we met in the garage. And he just seemed a little odd, but nothing felt weird or anything. But he was by himself. And he had said he was married. So I was surprised he wasn't with his wife. But I didn't look for a wedding ring or anything like that. So we go up to the unit and you have kind of like a narrow hallway a lot of times when you're going in a condo and then the door's in front of you. And so he's standing behind me and literally every hair on my body stood straight up.
Oh man.
I've never felt like that in my life. I was so scared and for no reason, he didn't say anything. It was like, I don't know, he was giving off this energy and I'm about to walk in. It was a vacant condo. I'm about to walk in this condo with him. And everything in my body was screaming, do not go in that place with him. And I have never felt that way since, honestly, with out in public, yes, but not showing property.
Right.
So I didn't know what to do. And so I opened the door and I let him walk in first. And I stayed next to the door, between him and the door the entire time, closer to the door, even though he was walking around the condo. He's like, well, come on in, aren't you going to show me or whatever? It was weird because clients don't usually say that. And I just got out of there as quickly as I could. He's like, oh, yeah, I really liked it. I'm going to talk to my wife. We'll get back in touch with you. I'll bring her back, blah, blah, blah. Never heard from him again. Yep. And then I tried to check and see, did he really work? Because supposedly he worked at a local employer. I couldn't find him. And so, I don't know who he was, but, what I would say is, and it's funny because as realtors, we're often in that situation where we're alone at a property. It's often vacant. Even if it's occupied, somebody's not there. If there's no cameras or anything like that, you're alone and you're in a very vulnerable position.
You are, yeah. And, there's a lot of us that don't have the tools to go look somebody up to see if they're real, but we just were given access to this app for free as part of our membership with the board.
Yes, which is really good.
Yeah, and I see Florida Realtors now has that as a benefit as well. It's called Forewarn, so you can search somebody by their name and where they live or by their phone number that they're calling you from to see if they have a criminal history. And sometimes the criminal stuff is like a speeding ticket. We don't care about that.
Who cares? Right.
But, I have looked a few people up that were sent to me as listing leads, and I will put their phone number in, and it's battery of law enforcement officers. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I'm out. I don't know what the circumstances are. But I'm if it's a charge on there, they don't just walk around and hey, I'm going to charge you with that today.
Right.
So there's a story there. I'm not
and
interested in
we can verify that they are
risk.
who they say. I mean, I think that's an important thing because before we really didn't have 15 years ago when that happened to me with that guy, I would have had no way, or I wouldn't have known how to even see, is this person who they say they are? And that's really important. If somebody calls and says, this is who I am, this is my name, we'll get texts from people, hey, can you show me this house? Who are you?
Could you introduce yourself?
Could you give me your name? And then they'll give just their first name. Okay, can you give me your last name? And people think we're being difficult or something like that. We're not being difficult. We're protecting ourselves.
A real client will never think you're difficult for asking their true name.
Right.
Their
What's your
actual
name? What's your purpose? Or do you plan on buying? These qualifying questions are not just to make sure you're a real buyer. They're to make sure that we're going to be safe.
Yeah.
That you're a person who's actually looking to buy property, and that we're sort of hedging our bets there with safety. And I think I was telling you that when I in my early years in real estate, I did hear a story about a woman a realtor holding an open house, and the guy came in and tied her up and put her in the closet, ransacked the house. So she's lucky and that was in Melbourne. She's lucky that she wasn't harmed, right? So eventually somebody came in, another buyer, potential buyer to the open house, and found her in the closet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So she was in the closet. But I mean, people wonder, well, why don't you want to hold open houses? And we've said it before. I know that agents come after us. They come after us for saying this, but when we hold an open house, do we meet potential buyers? Yes. Do we meet potential sellers? Yes. It's very good for us as realtors because we meet potential clients.
That's the purpose of the open house.
That's the purpose. But only 1.5 or something, some low percentage of houses are actually sold to a person who visited.
Yeah. And I know that 45 realtors are going to come on here and tell me that their last deal is because they sold it during the open house.
Right.
But my argument is, would you not have sold that home otherwise?
Right.
Were they just not interested until...
Would they not have come if
they
there
wouldn't
wasn't an
have
open
looked
house?
at the house at all?
Right.
They just stumbled on it and they're like, oh, I have to have this.
Right.
I don't know. Well, at the same token, I'm actually hosting an open house this weekend.
Right.
So
it's good if you have someone else with you, or if you're in a very, populated neighborhood, something
busy.
Like that. It's busy.
I can't imagine where I lived, where I grew up, everything's very sparsely populated and homes are very far apart from one another. I don't feel like I'd feel comfortable doing an open house there. I don't know, showings would be interesting too, unless you knew the clients for sure.
If you ever don't feel safe, if you are a realtor and you ever don't feel safe, I'll never forget there was a guy in my office, not a slight guy, and he had got a weird phone call, or he felt odd about it and he couldn't really explain why, and he asked another guy in the office to go on the showing with him, and I thought, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid
the buddy system.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask another agent to go with you just for safety.
And I know that, we're in Florida now, so concealed carry, if you have it, is great, but in Florida, you don't even need that as long as you're not violating any law as far as, you're not a felon or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't personally feel comfortable with it just because it's a huge liability for me. But, there's
person.
pepper spray, stuff like that maybe you feel comfortable with, or learning some self-defense techniques or something like that. I hope I'm never put in that position, but because my husband will hunt you down and find you. But
go Tommy.
There's plenty of us that are, plenty of realtors that are comfortable and do concealed carry on every appointment. And, you just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them.
And then the other thing with the safety, which comes with finding out if people are who they say they are, is it's rampant here. It's rampant, I think, all over the United States right now, is listing fraud. So people who will contact an agent, maybe multiple agents. It's the first one that takes the bait, and they are pretending to be the owner. And typically it's for vacant land is what we've noticed here. We both have gotten several of these.
Remember Cindy's had that thing with that was a listing fraud and it was a house.
Yes. Yeah. It does happen with homes too, where they'll pretend to be the owner, and typically the owner lives overseas.
Right.
Or not here in the state. Maybe they live in another state.
Right.
And so they're going to pretend to be that person, and then things won't match up. I had this happen on a piece of vacant land where, the owners, we got all the way to the contract part, and the title company that was working on it, they were asked for the passport and, driver's licenses for their country that they live in, to send them in. And they both had the same exact photo, different dates of birth. I mean, they were not really coordinating this well. And that was like, okay, lots of red flags. You aren't who you say you are. So the transaction gets canceled, listing gets canceled. And I see it happen often. And I think that, we do need some more education as realtors, like what to look out for. So now, like when I get contacted by the people that, whatever they are, I'm like, this is what I need.
To be careful.
I need to know, are you who you say you are? If you're going to send me your identification and this, and usually I never hear from them again if I ask for that.
They like the vacant land because they don't have to meet you at the house. They don't have to provide access to the house. They don't have to say, this is how you enter the house.
Right.
Yeah. I still can't figure out how that person with the house did it, because supposedly it happened to this couple multiple times. I'm like, how does this person provide the agent access to the house? But
maybe it's a vacant home and they figured a way in there. I don't know. It's so odd. So that's a really long episode today. I think that's it. But
40 minutes later. 40 minutes later.
Well, I guess that's it for today, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Cheers.
Sunny days, no clouds in the sky.